Hey, Gemini, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your December 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Gemini, you're starting off here with divine guidance, which is quite beautiful. It's centered here in your key themes, and this is all about angelic support, answered prayers, spiritual strength, assistance, and miracles. And for some of you, this is going to be the time of year where you may be feeling nostalgic. There could be a family member or a loved one who's crossed over. And I do see that you're going to have that spiritual strength. You're going to have that extra boost. And I also feel like there's definitely some sort of prayer being answered here for you. And this prayer has to do with healing. The prayer has to do with mending. And I feel like you've gone through something quite heavy, because the mending card is all about coming together. Forgiveness, healing, repair work, therapy, maybe even surgery of some sort. Protection. You are protected. You are being watched over by someone kind. You start off with the messenger. So this could be an invitation. For others of you, there's going to be an offering, a new opportunity being gifted to you. Because some of you have been stuck in that hanged man mode. Some of you have been feeling like you're ready to branch off, but you had to heal a certain part of yourself or around a situation before you could move forward. But I do see here, well, there's the moving forward, but I do see one of your key themes is the education card. So I see you've learned some valuable lessons. Some of you could be taking a test this month as well. Maybe you are renewing a certification. You could be going back to school. There may be some training involved. You may be teaching. Maybe you are an online educator. Maybe you work in a school system. Or you have the opportunity to read a little bit this month. And maybe you're reading a book. You could be, gaining knowledge in an area that does allow you to feel more empowered, right? They say knowledge is power. And that's what I'm getting here. It's like the more you know, the better off you are in a situation. Now, I see teamwork at the bottom of the deck. This could be your support system. It could be your family. It could be the people that you work with. Gemini, this also has to do with a helping hand. And this is the month that is so important for you to ask for help, especially if you struggle. If you struggle asking for help, this could be a month to exercise perhaps a new belief or a new way of moving forward in the world. Justice is your final card, which is interesting because that is Libran's energy of balance. And I feel like you are looking to bring something into balance here that has been off kilter. It's been off kilter. Some of you, this is your actual balance. Perhaps you felt a little bit foggy or dizzy, or this may have to do with a surgery regarding your root chakra system. So your balancing, maybe your knees, your ankles, your hips. All right, we'll take a look at all areas, including health, money, career, love, relationships. We'll look at it all, so please stay tuned. Now, your first card out here is education. This is about knowledge. And that's the biggest energy that I'm getting from this card right now, is there's some sort of knowledge coming in that is going to be beneficial, that is going to help you. Now, this could also be divine downloads. Because you have the divine guidance card, you could be receiving intuitive hits or intuitive nudges to further investigate a situation, to look into it a little bit deeper. I also see if you're going back to school, or if you are studying or training, or there's going to be a sign that shows up. And I feel like a sign or a symbol from the universe. It's almost like a flashing green light giving you the go ahead. And it could come through a book, right? This could be something you read. It could be a course that you're taking. It could be something you've wanted to learn more about or investigate more into. And I see that this is giving you the green light to go for it. And you have the team or resources or help that will be available to you if you reach out, if you ask. Now, right below it, you have messages. So you have the teamwork and the messages coming in, and you start off with the bonus major arcana, the messenger. So when this card shows up here, this is all about communication. There's an opportunity here. There's an invitation from the royal footman. You see that showing up here. But I feel like this is your communication skills, Gemini, and you are known for your communication. So this is someone yet to possibly reveal an opportunity to you, or this could be, a situation where someone lets you know how they want to proceed moving forward, because I do see forward momentum after a time of stress, anxiety, and feeling stuck, like feeling like, where do I go from here? There's going to be some sort of communication that allows things to finally flow after a period of being very stuck. And you've been asking for miracles. You've been asking for assistance. Maybe you've been asking your guides, and you've been asking for, support from your ancestors, your angels. But I also feel like there's people here in the physical. There's something that you are being guided to do here in the physical. There's going to be an answered prayer coming in for you. And I feel like that's what this invitation or offer is. You could also be the one that is delivering this to someone else. Perhaps you're telling someone, like, this is what I've learned. This is what I would like coming from, this opportunity. Maybe you've graduated, or you have a certification, or you've learned more about an experience or a skill by taking an online course, whatever it may be. You may be now going up to someone saying, hey, I have this skill set under my tool belt. Now I would like a raise, or I would like, this opportunity to really showcase my talent. So I feel like speaking up this month is going to be significant. Now we have the mending card. So things are coming together here for you. Forgiveness is necessary. There could be some important conversations between you and, again, family or people that you work with. I feel for some of you, this is potentially family. It could also be that you have a professional team of help. Maybe you're going through a legal situation, a legal battle. For others of you, this could be child support. It could be custody. I feel like there's been a little bit of a tug of war, a little bit of push and pull when it comes to maybe family or children. But I actually see some favorable offer or invitation that is gifted to you this month, because there's a helping hand showing up. And whenever I see the mending, this is always patching things up. It's always being in a better spot, right? The light at the end of the tunnel, or the worst is over. But it definitely feels like when we get to this asking for help, right? Praying, a lot of times we don't ask for help until we really, really need it. And I see here that you have built this connection with your higher self and the divine and your guides. You've strengthened this bond over the years, right? And I see that you're able to trust more now. You're able to trust in yourself to make decisions that are healthy and that are in your highest good. But I also see that this is a month where you say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no. So boundaries is showing up here for you, Gemini. All right, let's get into the tarot. You have the bonus major arcana. Again, this is card 22 of this deck. Now, there's only 21 major arcanas. The author and creator added a few extra, and this comes right after the world. So it feels like there's a cycle that has completed, and because you've graduated in a sense, there's a message or an opportune moment coming in for you. And the fish represents prosperity, longevity. So I feel like this is an opportunity that has the ability to really grow and to be fulfilling here. This also has to do, I'm hearing physical health, something around health, okay? Something about ego even. Be mindful of your words. Be mindful of how your words affect others, because words hold power. Words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. And I feel like you're being mindful of how you approach people in situations, because there may be something subconsciously that you were not aware of prior. But that's where the world came in and said, okay, you've learned a lesson, a very valuable lesson of how to communicate with others, how to listen to understand instead of listening to immediately respond. And so often we do that. We come up with an answer before someone even finishes what they have to say without fully comprehending or understanding or having that level of awareness of what the person really means. And I see that that is something you are addressing or looking into more this month. All right, we have the Hanged Man showing up here. The Hanged Man is the brink of an awakening, and it is all about surrender. It is letting go. It's perspective. And a lot of you have been hung up or you've been delayed here in some way. And that's why you've been praying. You've been maybe hung up physically. Maybe some of you have been stuck in bed, or you've been confined to, a wheelchair, or confined in a career. It just feels like you've been stuck. Like, when am I going to get out of this? When am I going to finally feel like it's not as heavy? Because I've been doing the work. I've been learning. I've been educating myself. I've been praying. I've been doing the spiritual work. Like, give me a break here. And I actually feel some of you Geminis have felt frustrated. You felt very frustrated that, that you wouldn't break out of this bubble. And we have here the Nine of Swords. For some of you, this is sleep. Sleep has really affected you in a very significant way. Sleep is crucial to our healing. And when we do not get the adequate amount of sleep, it creates havoc in our lives. It creates, lower vitality. It can contribute to depression and anxiety and bring on extra stressors. So really focus on your sleep cycles and do what you need to do to reduce stress, right? Stress management. Because sometimes the Nine of Swords can be about obsessive thoughts. It can be worries, insomnia, right? Not getting enough sleep. It's the monkey mind. It's worst case scenario where we're worrying about everything we have to take care of, right? The responsibilities of, what presents need wrapping, and the guest list and the food and everything that entails sometimes the holiday season. And it's important that you ask for help. And some of you are like, Mel, I've asked for help. No one wants to help. Why does this just, why is it just on your shoulders is what I would ask you. And is it worth it? Is it worth it to your health? Or is it time for you to either speak up, use your communication skills, or maybe even set some healthier boundaries? Because I thought I seen the boundary card come in. Yeah, we have that showing up here for you. We have what boundaries need to be created or strengthened. So maybe this is a good time to exercise, that boundary, or a new a new way to reduce your stress, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if someone doesn't like it because perhaps you've enabled or perhaps you've allowed them to get away with some sort of behavior that's been taking a little bit of an advantage, right? I feel like you're going to get some answers. And some of you, this could be even through like a sleep study. This could be looking into ways to work through maybe depression, anxiety, pain management, wellness, nutrition. So when it does come to health here, I am getting, I'm getting the heart. Okay, so the heart can be anxiety and depression, but it can also be about overexerting oneself to the point where, you know, the heart, it needs its break, right? It needs a break. And I feel overexertion, overexhaustion here. So maybe adrenals, adrenal fatigue could be something that has settled in. Now the Hanged Man energy could be about I'm getting vitamins and nutrients, feeling like you're not getting enough, or it just feels like something underlying needs to be addressed a little bit more with the Hanged Man. And I'm getting iron as well. Iron, okay? So someone may need to look into their iron intake, iron or zinc, or looking into the vitamins that they take. Now, we have the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords, I am a fan of the Six of Swords because this is making a clear choice. And when we've made a choice to do something, right? When it feels logically like it makes sense, you know, we want to move towards calmer waters. And I see that that's what you're doing here with the Six of Swords. You're moving on. You're moving on from maybe a bad situation. You're moving on from whatever had caused this mending to take place in the first place. Typically, it's the Five of Swords that comes, you know, comes out of the Six. And that is someone taking advantage. That is selfishness, revenge, anger, rage, bullying, manipulation, deceit, someone winning at all costs, right? It's just someone that you may have butt up against, butt heads, and it caused into, you know, it caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, because the Five of Swords is a battle of the egos. Now, I don't see it here in your reading, because I see you moved on from that, or that is something you are moving on from. But I see justice showing up. So there's a rebalancing taking place within you, within your, I'm getting your circadian rhythm, even your body. Yeah, because some of you, your sleep cycle was all over the place, right? Maybe you're sleeping days and you're working nights, and then you know, it feels maybe on call. Maybe some of you have a job that's on call, or you've just been worried. But I feel like the worst is behind you. You're entering into a new timeline, if you will. There's a new chapter of your life. And quite literally, I mean, as we close down 2024, you're ready to embark upon a new path in 2025. And that path is saying, I don't want to take all this anxiety with me. I don't want to take all these health issues or all the stress. You know, I want to learn better. I want to know better, because when you know better, you do better. And knowledge, again, is power. So the more you know, the more you're able to nip something in the bud before it turns into a full-on war like it had in the past. All right. We have the King of Pentacles showing up here. This is some big boss energy. King of Pentacles is the gnome king. And you see that, you know, his legs are made of rock. He reminds me of the guy in the Never-Ending Story. You know, I forget his name, Rockman, where he sits there and just eats the rocks. But he's very stable. He is very wealthy, very abundant. So there is an opportunity. Maybe that's what this invitation is. Inviting you to an opportunity to bring more wealth or abundance into your life. Now, he's also a reliable leader. He's worked his way to the top. He's someone who is grounded, stable, secure. There's something with the thighs, the knees, and even the legs. There could be inflammation. Okay, because I see here that those areas are really standing out here on the King of Pentacles. So maybe there is some sort of inflammation reduction Maybe someone has had surgery here, but I feel like you will rebuild. You will be able to save up again. Maybe you've had to put a lot of money towards something. Perhaps your money has dwindled. Perhaps it feels like you weren't rock solid. But I see here with this King of Pentacles, that's what that invitation is. And I feel like you have this new shift coming in, whether this is a new financial path where you're disciplined, where you are structured, because you're someone who's very respected. I feel like you, Gemini, excuse me. Sorry if I called you Taurus. I'm getting Taurus. Some of you are cuspers. But I feel, and I mean, this is Taurus energy here as well, but I feel like you are creating long-term wealth, health, and stability for you, for your family, or for, your generation that you're leaving behind. Your legacy is basically what I'm getting here. And right? Legs are showing up. Someone has had some troubles with their legs. And I feel maybe you've been wheelchair bound, or perhaps you had to walk with a cane, or, I just feel like there's something here that kept you bound up. Maybe it was finances. Finances kept you in a state of opposition or anxiety or stress. But that's why you start off with the invitation, with some sort of financial help or support, and then you end with the justice. Perhaps this is a settlement. Maybe it's a medical settlement. For others of you, it could be VA. I'm getting VA. It could be something within the court system. The justice is karma. It is retribution, but it's also about accountability. Now, there could even be divorce here that has taken place, and you've been rebuilding ever since. But this is about judgments, a judgment being made. And I feel like when you have divine guidance and you have the teamwork showing up and the mending, this is a judgment for the better. This is a rebalancing happening here for you, for your highest good. And because I see the Six of Swords, you're getting out of a pickle. You're getting out of a jam. So that's a great thing. All right, let's look at wealth, money, career, abundance. There's the helper again with the mask. So some of you could be medical professionals, or you're seeing some medical professionals, and you could be getting some great answers, right? Some answers that help you reduce some sort of stress, anxiety, or inflammation in the body, or dis-ease, also known as disease. Think before you offer help. Set healthy boundaries. Okay, straight from the mouths of spirit here, or these oracle. You see boundaries showing up twice in your reading. So this is significant for you. When it shows up repetitively or more than once, it's a big flag, right? A big flag waving in the air saying, pay attention. You could be a cashier, sales rep. You may work in a call center or any field, Gemini, where you help assist others. Because I feel like you are a helper, or you are being guided to let someone help you. Okay, let someone help you. Make sure your goals are your goals, not someone else's. And that could be why it's important for you to speak up, because otherwise we can get lost in the trap of letting other people make choices and decisions for us. But I feel like Spirit is saying here to trust in your own self, because you know what is best for you, not your spouse, not your parents, right? Not society. You know what is best for you. Now, of course, it's great to get some support. It's great to have some coaching, some guidance. It's great to listen to tarot readings, but it's all to help you take a deep look at what fully resonates within you. Because if it does not resonate, do not listen, right? Or don't let it go, or really question, is this a trigger, or is this because it's just not for me? Next, you have the Rose, financial relief. Yes, and that's what I was picking up on. Some sort of relief coming in, pain relief, financial relief, emotional relief. This does talk about job security and growing, maybe growing a business or growing your portfolio, growing your savings. This is also taken care of. Some of you could be caregivers. I'm getting nursing homes, so you could work in a nursing home. For some of you, you have maybe a family member that is in a nursing home that you could be visiting or taking care of, or they're coming to visit in December. Oh my goodness, look at, you have the book showing up twice. So ding, 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 Gemini, another flag showing up here because we have the book as your key theme. So this is paperwork. It could be contracts, learning as you go. Some of you are writers. You're taking a class. This is education and law as well. And we see the justice. So there's definitely a new path here, a new chapter of your life that looks to be quite magical with the book. It feels like there's a new page turning, and it reminds me of Metallica's Turn the Page. And I feel like you are ready. You've been ready. And it feels like you've been flipping through the pages, but you haven't been able to quite land on one. So maybe you've been putting yourself out there, putting your resume out there. You've been applying for many different opportunities, but it's never, it's never stuck. There's something here that is sticking because I see the pages. The page looks like it's flipping through, but the magic is working. And on the education, you see that the flowers are holding it, and that's purple. So there's a vision. There's a vision for you to keep hold of. Like, don't lose sight of that vision. And then lastly, Gemini, you have odd jobs. It says, consider creating multiple streams of income. Some of you already have a second job. You could be adding another stream of income here. Freedom is important, right? Some of you may be looking at your freedom more so than financial security, right? Maybe your freedom is health. Maybe your freedom is being able to live anywhere in the world instead of having something that binds you, right? With the King of Pentacles, you see his big old rock bottom there. Hopefully some of you, it's not rock bottom, but it feels like you want that freedom. I mean, who doesn't, right? But it says sometimes it's okay to take a transition job, even if it doesn't lead to, the career of your dreams. I feel like though, maybe that's where you've been. Maybe you've been in that transition job and you're ready to get out of it. Maybe that transition job was what you needed to learn some valuable lessons. And this new invitation is coming in here saying, all right, you want something more long-term. You want something that's going to go all the way. And that's this King of Pentacles. So for those of you that are looking to get a raise, those of you that are looking to either cut ties, maybe even have a new role in your line of work, a new position here, or if you're wanting to, manifest money or abundance, it's through some sort of action. I feel like there is an invitation, there is an offer showing up for you, Gemini, in the foreseeable future. All right. And this could be an opportunity to work with a group of people, maybe teamwork, making that dream work instead of feeling like you're doing everything on your own. Okay. Or this could be about, collaborating. It could be about co-creating and feeling more of a team project effort instead of feeling like everything is weighing on you, feeling like a one-man band here. All right. Let's look at love, relationships, family, children, parents, self. All right, there's the grounding. So again, we're seeing more rocks. So definitely an energy of grounding, getting out in nature. This can help you sleep better as well, getting fresh air. Even if you get outside for, 15, 20 minutes a day, get your bare feet out there if you're able to, or just walk amongst the trees, take your pet out for a walk. This talks about stability and security, performance. Some of you have a performance test or an interview, something showcasing your talents. There could be someone looking over your performance, but there's growth here. There is growth. Now, when it comes to love, though, when it comes to relationships, I feel like you want more stability. And you see that there's two big old rocks here. And it feels like you, again, have been doing everything yourself. And I see it's important to connect to others to ask for help. If you currently are in a relationship, I feel like it's important to have that conversation. It's important to maybe sit down and have a conversation around finances or around money, because that can be causing stress. Some of you, I just heard diabetes as well. Okay, some of you, you may have a partner who has diabetes, or someone may have kidney stones. That also looks like stones. Now, there's growth. If you are single, I feel like you have exited a relationship or a dynamic where perhaps there was a lot of ego. There was a lot of fear, a lot of frustrations, confidence was lacking. For some of you, maybe there was some sort of abuse, right? Because you're getting out of a difficult situation where you didn't feel like you were enough. And maybe you are dealing with a family member who cut you down, right? Or maybe you felt very bound. You see that she's bound. This reminds me of the Eight of Swords, where you have the handcuffs basically, and the eyes are covered, and it's like, I can't get out of this. I'm trapped. I'm restricted. I'm helpless. I'm hopeless. But it feels like you are moving on from that, because the Ship card is the Six of Swords. It's cutting ties, right? Moving on. You received what you needed in that sense. And you needed, some of you, this was a wake-up call. Some of you needed a bit of a wake-up call in a relationship. And I feel like there's progression, there's growth, there's lessons learned. And that's going to help you ground, right? It's going to help you come back to your senses, is what I'm getting here. But we also have the Clock. This is about needing time. Excuse me. This is about progressing. And we're seeing that word twice. Progression and arriving, and then progressing. So it may feel like you've been in a cycle. You've been on repeat or on default mode with that Hanged Man. But the Clock here says, okay, you've arrived. You've come to a very pivotal part of your soul's journey, where I feel like it's time to really focus on your stability and security within a relationship or within a family structure or dynamic. Some of you may have even cut people out of your life, or you've moved on from people, but you needed that time to really heal. But you've arrived at a new place. I'm getting you've arrived here at a place of maybe forgiveness or of justice or of karma rebalancing. Some of you were dealing with a karmic. Some of you, this is a family member that you had some karma between, that you both needed to grow and evolve. There's something here with the both of you. Two, where you had some lessons, they had some lessons, but now there's healing, okay, with the mending. Now you may be able to come together. Now there's a mature energy or emotional, intelligent energy that is being rebalanced out. So let's look at your soul's truth, Gemini. We have, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? To create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings, and believe that we are worthy of them. Yeah, because on the not enough card, it says lacking confidence. Lacking confidence because we don't feel at times like we are enough. In your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. Because what happens is we become too codependent or too independent, right? And we don't have that healthy balance between dynamics. And I feel like something needs to be rebalanced here in relationships, okay? Whether it be platonic, whether it be at work, whether it be lovers. It says, when we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. And remember earlier I said there's something here about you listening to what's best for you. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves, right? When we're so entangled with other people's energies. If you are an empath, Gemini, you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff. It is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. And maybe that's why the King of Pentacles is coming in, because you are very well respected. You are someone that, maybe is very educated, very knowledgeable, but yet you may be taking on the weight of the world. That is why the King of Pentacles, is feeling a little bit weighed down. So for those of you empaths out there, like it says, you can help others without taking on their stuff. Today's mantra: I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what is best for me. Kudos. Kudos. You're getting it, Gemini. You know this. And then we have here, what am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me? Now, I'm hearing this in someone else's voice. I feel like it's not Gemini's voice here. So it could be someone else. But of course, this could be you. Take it as it resonates. Or it could be someone around you that may be making excuses, or maybe they rely on you heavily. But it says, are you waiting on someone else before you can take the big leap? What if you were to take life into your own hands and forge your own unique path? Put your heart into action and ask yourself, what risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more waiting for others. Do it scared and take the leap. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave and you will discover what you are really made of. Wild soul, strong heart, can't lose. So some of you, this is a call to action. Right? This is a call to action, and that could be the invitation. All right? Maybe you are opening yourself up to delivering some sort of news or receiving it. You could be the sender. You could be the receiver. All right, Gemini, last but not least, you have Anima Mundi. Anima. Let's take a look and see. I feel like, flipped right there. I feel like I've only had this one other time. But this is the soul of the world. This is all that is. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. When this is showing up as the light aspect, Gemini, it's tending to the sacred details of life. When it's showing up as the dark, it can be overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. If you want to go deeper, look into the alchemical drawings of Anima Mundi, the life and paintings of Hilma of Klint. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. In this energy, it's behind the world card. If it's behind the world, which we talked about that, right? We talked about the messenger quite literally is card 22. It's behind the world. So there's symbolance. There's a message here, and it says, behind the world card in the tarot deck. It actually is the next card behind tarot. How interesting. 80th carry themes of universal unity. It says completeness and embrace. How interesting. I had no clue, but there is your sign, double whammy, that after the world comes the soul of, the soul of the world, all that is, right? It's going above and beyond the cosmos. It's taking that last major arcana journey and going above and beyond. Again, it's that completion here of multifaceted, multi-dimensional layers bonded together. How beautiful is that? And that's something you are seeing here in the month of December. Not only that, I feel like that is your miracle. That in itself, Gemini, is your miracle. So that is what I have for you, beautiful souls. I hope this resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, Gemini. Happy December.